I want to bring in Republican strategist Ford O'Connell, and Progressive Radio host Chris Hahn. And Chris, I want to stay on the topic of Hillary here for a minute because, you know, she has been in the past very supportive and vocal in her support of the Black Lives Matter movement. Does this put her in an awkward position today?
No, look, I think that you see a lot of people who are very concerned for what happened with the police, and you see what people who are very concerned over the two shooting incidents over the last couple of days. And I don't think that you have to be concerned for one over the other. I think you could share the grief that are held in both cases. And I don't think Black Lives Matter movement necessarily is an anti-police movement. It is a pro-supporting the recognition that Black lives do matter in America and that Black lives are somehow, often, not by everyone, treated as less than in our society. And I think Hillary Clinton is right to stay at this event today.
Chris, I got to say something here. And the thing is that Hillary Clinton, basically, her statement was a tweet. Here's why it's a tweet. Let's talk about this awful tragedy. Now let's talk about the politics of it. She is tethered to President Obama and the black vote. If they don't turn out for her, she loses. He's the head of the party. He's the chief spokesman. She doesn't want to get caught crosswise with him. So she came out and basically said, hey, I mourn for the police, but she doesn't want to get crosswise with Black Lives Matter or the police, because it's basically Barack Obama who's her shepherd on this issue.
Well, I have to say, gentlemen, I mean, the president has in the past as well been very supportive, and again, making this a political issue, along with the topic of gun control. He did speak from Poland, from Warsaw this morning, and I want you to listen to what he had to say, and in particular, pay attention to the tone of the president, guys.
I believe that I speak for every single American when I say that we are horrified over these events, and that we stand united with the people and the police department in Dallas. We will learn more, undoubtedly, about their twisted motivations, but let's be clear, there's no possible justification for these kinds of attacks or any violence against law enforcement. Anyone involved in these senseless murders will be held fully accountable. Justice will be done.
You know, Ford, I have to say the president was very measured, I thought, this morning in his reaction.
I think that's exactly the right reaction. The president is spot on. But what you missed in the rest of the clip is he had then jumped to gun control. And it's in his DNA to never let a crisis go to waste, even as one as horrible as this one. He wants to strike while the iron's hot, be measured, understand the police problem, but also go forward because the left wants to ban all guns no matter what.
And, Chris, that's a very hot topic. It's a political topic. It's an election year topic.
Well, yeah, and of course we do need to talk about gun control. Both, you know, I want to ask this question to the world. Like, where is the NRA out there educating police officers that not everybody who has a gun is a criminal? These two people that were killed before the crisis in Dallas both had registered handguns, and I don't hear the NRA speaking up for them at all. I wonder why. But look, I think the president's...
Because they were criminals, Chris, because not everybody that owns a gun is a criminal. A lot of people actually like to hunt deer in the state of Texas, by the way. I'm sorry, but
again, like I'm saying, but what I'm saying, Cheryl, is the people who were shot in Louisiana and Minnesota, they legally had the right to carry guns, and they had permits and everything else.
I don't think every gun owner is a criminal.
You are jumping to a conclusion.
No,
in Minnesota and Louisiana. We need to know what the police procedure was and what happened. You're already pushing for gun control. Maybe, and I don't know this, it looks terrible, maybe they acted in accordance with the law. We just don't know that. But you automatically, in your DNA, jump to gun control. Unbelievable.
Chris?
Well, look, I believe we need gun control. I'm not calling for gun control right here, right now, but the president is right to saying that guns are a problem here in this country, and I think something needs to be done about it.
Well, I was looking at a couple of the statements, of course, from Hillary Clinton and from Donald Trump. Donald Trump said this, and again, I think the candidates have been very respectful today. Trump said it's a coordinated, premeditated assault on the men and women who keep us safe. And he said this is a time, perhaps more than ever, for leadership, love, compassion will pull through. I have to say, Donald Trump has been so criticized about his brashness and sometimes being non-politically correct, excuse me, but that actually was a pretty, tepid statement, I thought, from Donald Trump.
It absolutely was. And look, there is no manual for how to handle tragedy. You kind of want to do two things. The first is acknowledge the public fear, instill confidence, and preach calm and unity. And I think, frankly, throughout that statement, he did that. Plus, he also acknowledged what happened in Louisiana and Minnesota and say these are tragedies that we need to get to the bottom of. Overall, bravo way for Donald Trump. I wish I could see more of that on a lot of other issues.
Well, guys, we're going to have you back in just a few moments, but I do want to say no matter where anybody sits on the issue of gun control and gun ownership, today was a tragedy, and I think everybody
horrible day.
agrees.
We're all horrified by it.
I think we all agree on that. All right.